Hi, my name is Maurice Murray. I'm here today to give my speech, an informative one, for Comm 115. The interesting part about this particular subject is that this is a public speaking class that is online. I get that question a lot. What does that mean exactly, or how does that work exactly? So, not totally sure yet. Hi, everybody. But we're going to go in and give it a shot anyway. So today I'm actually going to be talking about my job at Denver International Airport. I get that question quite a bit as well. Well, what do you do exactly? What is airport operations? Well, airport operations is the personnel that are hired to kind of manage the airfield as well as the ramp tower and the terminal side of it. So I actually have like three different portions of my job. One is in, it's dealing with passengers specifically, both out in the terminals and the concourses as well as the roadways, but also out on the airfield handling aircraft movement, construction, snow, and a few other elements like emergencies. In the ramp tower, we handle the movement of aircraft. We basically transition aircraft from non-movement to movement. And once they go to movement, they actually get turned over to the FAA controllers, and that portion of it is kind of separate. That's the federal side of it. We handle it from the city perspective, so it's kind of neat. To give you guys an idea of what those job responsibilities are, we would, from the airfield side, we handle actually driving out on the airfield. And we issue NOTAMs, which are notice to airmen, and what it does is actually it transmits a signal out to the aircraft as they're flying overhead, and then they can actually download information about our airport and what's going on there. So if we have like snow activities or if there's construction, various things like that, they get that information so they know exactly what they have to do when they're landing, taking off, and just taxiing to the gate as normal. In addition to that, we handle like wildlife, we handle pedestrians, traffic out on the ramps and taxiways, so like, you know, some of the airlines as well as contractors and vendors. We would handle snow and ice removal, which is one of the plans under FAR 139, which is the governing document for all airports, or all general airports. So what happens is we have all these different plans, and we have to kind of take care of those aspects of it from the airfield side. When we transition over to like the ramp tower, we're up in the ramp, and we actually do all of the pushes of aircraft as well as the taxiing them into the gate areas. So it's kind of a big responsibility. Most of the time, we'll give you an example. Like we have several different bank times where all of our aircraft either arriving or departing at the same time. Those are called banks. At various points in the day, we will actually talk to about 40 aircraft in about 15 minutes. That's usually 2 different transmissions, sometimes 3. It makes things very hectic up in the ramp tower. As a matter of fact, there is another document that's on YouTube, which you can actually pull up. It's called DIA 101. And it really kind of covers a lot of that in great detail. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about it, you can look it up there. From the terminal side, we are the 5th busiest airport in the United States and the 11th busiest in the world. So we get a lot of passenger traffic. If you don't have passengers, you can't fly aircraft. So what we do from the terminal side is we actually talk with, we work hand in hand with TSA, FAA people as well as security. We handle line management and all of the other aspects that go along with that particular portion of it to really get passengers from the roadways out to the concourses. That's the main function of that particular position. but there's lots of other little aspects that go along with it, such as working with, the different airlines from a perspective of kind of like a city liaison. We work with them hand in hand in that aspect. In addition to that, we actually drive in the tunnels underneath, heading to medicals, emergencies, and such like that. We also, where am I at? Let me see here. 5:30. We also handle anything that actually happens out on the roadways as well. So we drive all of Pena Boulevard as well as any of the other accessing roadways that are in the immediate area. And we work with Denver Police and a few other groups to make sure that, the roadways themselves are safe. Just recently, we actually did this whole project taking a look at job specifications for our particular position. One of the interesting parts that I found out was that there's about 300 lane miles of on the airport itself. Harry, this is a lot of ground, which kind of equates well with the 53 square miles that we have at DIA. That's my job in a nutshell. Do we have any questions? Yes.
Is it true of the suspicions, can you confirm or deny the suspicions and rumors that are out at the airport?
Interesting question. I've had this one as well. There is no conspiracy theory type activity that happens at the airport. We move aircraft. We transport passengers from one place to the other. There's no underground dinosaurs or UFOs or anything like that. It's an airport. Question?
What did you mean by wildlife?
Wildlife. Well, that's a good question too. We actually have quite a bit of wildlife that's out at the airport, whether it's rabbits, deer, groundhogs, and so on. The biggest one that we've had so far is bird traffic. So lots and lots of birds, they fly through our airport, heading south or heading north for the winter. So what we have to do is we actually have to check and make sure that we're not feeding them and making sure that they have a place to live, because we don't want them at the airports. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much.